What's up, everybody? Welcome to Numbskull News, the live version. And we got some things going on out there. A lot of people been talking. A lot of people been talking about the ACC. That little lawsuit they got. They threw something extra out there at FSU. We're going to get into some of that. We're going to get into Arizona. Looks like they're doing okay. Looks like they might be okay. Maybe the destruction of the Wildcats has been a little, I don't know, we're a little quick to pull the trigger on that, maybe. Seems that way. We're going to get into some of that as well. But first, we're going to waste some time. First, we're going to waste a little time, let some people kind of get into the chat or whatnot. And then we're going to tackle those two. Those are the big two I'm mostly talking about. But sadly, my beloved Dallas Cowboys. Again, they disappoint. I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point. I don't know what to say about the Cowboys. I mean, they should be better. You would think. 48 points is what they gave up to Green Bay. 48 points. I don't know. I don't know. Are we sure that Dan Quinn is this big commodity if you're giving up 48 points? I know they didn't really give up 48. I know there were turnovers. There was a pick six thrown by Dak. I get it. But that's still a lot of points. I mean, Jordan Love, I don't know if he ever looked that good before. That's what I'm saying. It's what they did all year, right? I mean, they'd get their ass handed to them by a good team, and when they go up against a bad team, they just light them up. It was weird. But they were undefeated at home all year long. No one could beat them in Dallas until the playoffs. I don't know. I'm kind of at my wit's end with the Cowboys. And and of course they're going to keep Mike McCarthy. Is that a mistake? Maybe. I like Mike. I don't think he does a horrible job or anything. I don't know. Dak's good, but that he wants, and we all, I knew this was going to happen. He wants this giant freaking extension, right? Right now he's making like, what is it, 40 million a year? Well, he wants to go way past that. Why? I mean, really, why? What have you done? Have you gotten past the second round of the playoffs? You have not. And every time we get in the playoffs, you look like rancid dog shit. What are we doing? Oh, it's just it hurts my soul. It really does. So I'm not going to spend forever on that. J Baller 54, you're the best, numbskull, but my Packers beat that ass. They did. They destroyed them. You can't extend Dak. That would be horrific. All right. They did the right thing. They traded for a Lance. I can't remember his name. Damn it. That quarterback from the 49ers, that young guy. They traded for him. Perhaps you go and you draft another guy, get another guy in free agent. Get you a plethora of quarterbacks. See who wins the job. All right. Trade Dak. Get him the hell out of there. You can get a nice little haul for Dak. Stop screwing around with that guy, paying him absurd amounts of money for absurd non-productivity. It's a joke. Jordan is getting better. Our future is bright, really bright. Dallas has no clue on defense. They do. I just don't know what the hell happened in that game, Jay. I mean, it's one of the better defensive units in the league, except for the first round of the playoffs. Now they become a paper tiger. It's ridiculous. Jay Woodworth, what is up, dude? Long time no see. We'll trade you Dak for Russell straight up. Oh, thanks, Jeff. I just want draft picks. You can keep Russell. TCU looking pretty good to start Big 12 play. They are, man. They're kicking a little bit of ass in the basketball sense. In the Big 12, of course. I mean, you got more players in the top 25 or more teams in the top 25 than anybody. Man, this conference is just getting better and better when it comes to basketball. Premier, high level basketball. Oh, man, I want to get off this subject. I want to keep talking. Thank you, Jeff, for bringing up TCU. At least you made me smile. You know, good Lord, the Cowboys. It's getting harder and harder to watch the Cowboys. It really is. I haven't lived and died with that team for so many years, and the older I get, just the more crotchety I get, and I just, oh, look, I don't expect to win the Super Bowl every year. I don't expect to be in the Super Bowl every year. Hell, I don't expect to be in the playoffs every year, but once in a while, make a run. Give this old redneck a little thrill once in a while. Every few years, can we make a run to the NFC Championship game? It's all I'm asking for with a chance at more. That's it. That's all I want. That is all I want. Can we get that? No. We're the first team in NFL history to have 3 years in a row of winning 12 games, at least 12 games, and we're the first team to not, in any 3 of those years, get to an NFC Championship game. Or at least to a conference championship game. It is ridiculous. I mean, you're breaking the wrong records. I'm sorry, Dak has had every opportunity to be better. For all the people who want to shit talk Tony Romo, this dude has never had that kind of defense. He never has had the offensive lines that Dak has had. Never had, well, a little bit, maybe for a year, had explosive running game. Had an explosive running game. But Dak has had so much more talent around him and has done less with it than Romo. You say, well, Romo kept going 8-8, 8-8. Well, look at the defense he had. Wasn't great. He's making up for, not a lot of offensive weapons and, some decent offensive lines. Sometimes piss poor. You remember, how many times has he got to try to make a play because a ball gets hiked over his freaking head? We wonder why his back went out. He's having to torque himself all to hell just to get back to the line of scrimmage. He made some awesome plays. But J Baller 54, 8 teams to the top 25. It's just a bloodbath every night, in and out. Yes, it is. It's the best conference out there. It's the biggest gauntlet you're going to go through in the Big 12. There's no nights off. I mean, every team can get up and sting you, every one of them. And the better teams can blow your ass completely off the court. It's amazing. LOL, you're going to be all right, buddy. Well, I gotta purge this, because I love the NFL draft. I love to see what's going on there. I know that's not what my channel is built on, but I still love it. So I want my enjoyment of the draft to be something and not like this hopeless Cowboys crap I'm feeling right now. So I'll get there. I would have felt better if I knew Jim Harbaugh was coming. All right. Well, if we're going to keep Mike, at least for the love of shit, get rid of Dak. Let's start over. That'll make me feel better. That'll get my juices going. Let's trade some of these sons of bitches that suck. And he's the number one guy that sucks. What's up, Mike? Appreciate you being here. Time to jump on the Texan bandwagon, buddy. You can't pay me enough. I'm a DFW guy. I'm not a Houston guy. But seriously, at least you're sniffing the playoffs. Broncos fans are just happy to win 8 games. Eventually, the Broncos will come around. It's just, what's one of the main guys there? John Elway. Overrated front office guy. Big time overrated. He got Peyton Manning in there on his last leg, and Peyton had just enough to get him to a couple Super Bowls. But I don't know. I don't think he's done a great job. I really don't. I think he tried to catch that lightning in a bottle again by getting Russell, but blew up in his face. That's what it does most of the time. Usually, like, the Peyton Manning types of deals, they don't work out, But Peyton Manning is, he's a one of one. He's one of the greatest players ever, the greatest quarterbacks ever. Dare I say, possibly the number 2 quarterback of all time. So it's a little different, but Russell Wilson is not that. Mike Smith, Dallas paid for their lack of getting another decent linebacker in free agency. They knew LVE would get hurt. Overshown was promising rook in camp, but got hurt. Yeah, the injuries pile up on you. But here's the thing, Mike. You can't, in this day and age in the NFL, it is really difficult to overspend for linebackers. And the big time freaking linebacker, he's going to make an ass ton of money, huge money. So you couldn't really afford to go out and get a shit ton. And by the way, LVE was not making a ton of money. That was actually a good re-signing because he's a good player. Of course, he's going to get hurt. You just hope that, he doesn't get hurt at the wrong time. He did, overshown, like you said, looking good. They got some younger guys that do pretty well. They've had a few misses in the draft at the linebacker spot, but yeah, some of those injuries added up. Mike Smith, they wound up playing Damone Clark, Micah, who is more of a pass rusher, and a myriad of DBs like Bell as temporary linebackers. Yeah. I mean, all that's true. But they've had a lot of guys that have been able to step up. But, it's the playoffs. Back down. We're not doing it. Jeff Whitworth, Houston got a rude awakening in what Big 12 basketball really is. Yeah, a little bit, but don't write off Houston just yet. I wouldn't write them off just yet. Cowboys' biggest problem is Jerry Jones. Well, in some ways, I have to acquiesce that. I'm a big Jerry Jones fan. I like Jerry Jones. I think he's done phenomenal with the Dallas Cowboys. as far as making them just the biggest brand on earth, and what he's done for the NFL as far as making that the biggest sports league on earth, Jerry Jones deserves a ton of credit. Jones's biggest problem is not the press conferences, like people, especially local sports media. Oh, he's always in the press conference. Oh, shut up. He's been doing it for 30 years. He did it when they were winning Super Bowls. That doesn't make a shit. No, his biggest problem is his head coaching hiring sucks. I mean, it really does. And don't give me he fired Jimmy Johnson shit. Jimmy Johnson has said himself he did everything he could to get fired. He was trying to get fired out of the Cowboys because he wanted to be closer to home, Miami. So that's what he did. But all the coaches after that, it has been just a shit show. It has been a shit show. Don't give me, please don't give me the big tuna. Don't give me Parcells. Parcells was horrible in Dallas. This is what the big media and ESPN and Fox, they all love kissing Parcells' ass. I like Parcells. He's the greatest media scrums ever. The greatest press conferences and daily press conferences and training camp. You can't beat Bill Parcells. But what he did with the Cowboys set us back. He sucked. He sucked. Buying the groceries and everything. What he did, the only positive thing he did, he scared the guys who were there. All right. And then they played better because they knew there was real consequence. Bill Parcells, and here's my problem. Okay. Bill Parcells in the draft. He had a chance at getting that running back that went to the Rams for years and was a badass son of a bitch. I have his name on the tip of my tongue. But that year, you see, the problem was instead of getting that quarterback, if he had played for the Cowboys, he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame by now. But and him with Romo, my God, Stevens. Played for the Rams for years and went to Atlanta for his last few years. God, it's going to kill me. I got to look this up. I can't just like, I don't know. Oh, what the hell's his name? I'm looking it up. Where is he at? Son of a bitch. Why am I getting nothing but leather helmets? I guess y'all don't know his name either. Shit. La, 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 la. I don't know. Steven Jackson, son of a bitch. Steven Jackson. That's who Bill Parcells passed up. Remember, he traded the pick, traded down, said all these running backs are basically the same. No, he was dead ass wrong on that. And he traded down for get an additional first round pick the next year because he was trying to go to a 3-4 and drafted Marcus Spears, who was kind of a mid-range talent. He wasn't horrible. He wasn't great. He wasn't a first rounder. I'll tell you that much. He wasn't worth that. So they went to the 3-4, and our defensive coordinator at the time who would eventually take the Minnesota Vikings job. That's probably who should have been the head coach during that time. I'm not saying he's great, but you put all these resources into going to a 3-4, skipping out on a great running back to pair with a Romo, who you would eventually get anyway, for what? Just to leave, and that defense wasn't working. And the whole reason, and then you bring in Phillips. Oh my God, just it's just been shit after shit after shit. No, only death will remove Jerry Jones. Houston beating the hell out of Texas Tech right now, 38-29 second half. Ooh, I told you, don't count them out. Mike, maybe Jira will get caught in a Dolan situation. He's been caught in a lot of situations. It's too late. Liver spots is too sneaky. Another issue, they draft Mazzy at 330 pounds, but made him get down to 307. They wanted to make him more of a 3-3 instead of a 1 technique. Lack of linebackers. Hankins only good one tech. No wonder Rusty. Yeah, you draft Mazzy because he's a stud stopping the run. I don't know what you're doing. I didn't get that either, Mike. That was some dumb shit. I'm glad McCarthy got out of Green Bay. I'll take Matt LaFleur any day. Well, he got pretty close to getting axed out of that bitch too. I mean, look, Jordan Love appears to be a pretty good quarterback, but he got lucky. Mike Smith, problem with Big Tuna was that he was a bad drafter for the most part. He drafted, you know what? I give him some credit. I can't do names right now. My memory is trash right now, but our defensive end, well, he was our defensive end. Then he went to the Denver Broncos, won a title with them, but went into the Hall of Fame recently. Parcells drafted him, and it was him and the guy who ultimately went to San Diego, who was what was that? Tila Tequila or something. He beat her up or something. He didn't last as long as everyone thought. He had a great nickname, though. I can't remember what it was. Lights Out? No, not Lights Out. I can't remember his nickname. It was pretty good, though. Anyway, there was 2 big-time pass rushers in the draft, and we took the correct one. Parcells got the right one. But yeah, he missed on a lot of other shit, unfortunately. I like the new mic. Looks classy. I appreciate that. Christmas was nice. Mike Smith, his excuse on the record was that running back was too upright. Behind the scenes during the draft, he did not or want to draft that running back because the Postons were his agents and he did not like dealing with them. Well, Steven Jackson was just a badass and he's stupid. Just saying. Yes. He also wanted to draft Spears for instead of Ware, and he also liked Lights Out. Lights Out. Is that maybe I did say that. Well, he may have liked Lights Out over Ware, but he drafted Ware. That's what I'm saying. He had his choice of either one of those, and he drafted Ware ahead of Spears. Spears looked like a good prospect, but it's not worth the first rounder ultimately. I would have traded Spears and something else to get Steven Jackson. I would have. What an OSU team, Jackson, Chad Johnson, and TJ. Who's your mama? That's pretty good. True. All right. Well, let's get off the Cowboys. Thank God. Let's talk about Arizona. So they get Brennan. Was it San Diego State? I believe it was. West Coast guy. And apparently he's got a lot of ties to Arizona. Didn't know his wife. That's her alma mater. He got some other family that went to Arizona. And so to me, and he's had success. I mean, had success with a program that never had a whole lot of success. And plus Arizona, they had I think Brennan was on the short list when they hired Jed Fish. So all of that kind of makes sense. It just makes sense, you know. Like DeBoer goes to Alabama, he's kind of a fish out of water down there, right? I know why they hired him. He's a skilled head coach, obviously, but he has no ties down there. He doesn't know anybody. I'm sure Nick Saban, gave DeBoer his Rolodex of high school coaches and all that kind of stuff, but he doesn't have the greatest reputation as far as recruitment goes, unlike Nick Saban. So the fit is a little weird with DeBoer down there. It's already showing that, and people are just fleeing Alabama. Arizona, though, they haven't exactly been fleeing. A lot of the guys who've entered the portal really haven't played for Arizona. They were recent people who came through the portal. So, and the biggest thing is it appears that the quarterback, who everyone just assumed was going to go with Jed Fish to Washington, is like, screw you. I'm going to stay here. That's big. Because if you can keep the majority of your talent with Brennan, that's going to help you coming into the Big 12. So, I had said before, it's possible they sink down to the bottom of the Big 12 with that loss of Jed Fish, because he is a hell of a coach. But Brennan's a good coach as well. I mean, we'll see how it turns out. We'll see what the rest of the staff looks like, and can he retain these kids through the offseason? Right now, it looks fine. Right now, it looks like they've bounced back a little bit and they'll be okay. But we'll see how it goes through the spring. Next time the portal opens up, does anyone else leave? So, we'll see what he can retain, what he can get. But it appears so far to be a pretty good hire. And right now it appears that Brennan has the easiest job as far as being successful the next season. DeBoer's got his work cut out for him, and it appears Fish is going to have quite a bit of work too. And I'm not saying Alabama's not a great job or Washington's not a great job. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying with what's going on there, it appears to be a bigger pain in the ass in those two spots, replenishing talent, because a lot of the talents is like, goodbye, especially Alabama. Holy shit. I mean, holy shit. The talent that they have lost so far is insane. It's insane. And Washington's going to lose a lot of talent. That's a rebuild. Alabama is going to be a complete rebuild. Washington's going to be mostly a rebuild. Arizona is going to be a kind of a normal getting ready for the next season kind of thing as far as it goes right now. As far as right now. You're keeping your quarterback, your promising young quarterback, and you're keeping his number one target. That helps a lot. So now it's just making sure you keep those guys happy. Let them know we're going to keep pushing forward and bringing in some more young talent. Trying to keep as many recruits as possible. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes, if you will. But yeah, I got a lot more hope for Arizona. I don't know if I could put them, back in the top 4 or 5 in the Big 12, but just because it's a new coach and you never know. But right now, I might have him somewhere just outside the top five, maybe 6, 7, 8 right now. I don't know. It's fluid, but I don't think they're going to drop that far as expectations go. It's more of a let's see it. Let's see how Brennan does on game days. First, let's see if he can retain the talent he needs to retain through the offseason and add to it. And then let's see what he does on game day. So I can't put him in the top five, but just outside of that is not out of the question right now for Arizona, which is a hell of a lot better than I was thinking. So good job, Arizona. Oh, let's see here. Is Dorrance Armstrong with Dallas? I don't think so. I think last year was his last year. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's hurt. I don't know. Well, Mike says he's still there. That's kind of shocking to me. Jeb should have waited on the Michigan job. It's hard to do that, though. It's hard to do that. And there's no Michigan. The Michigan job wasn't going to be an automatic kind of job, I mean, there's talk about Florida, talk about Miami. Although Miami needs to move on. I mean, they're not going to. They would have done it by now, but that guy's a freaking joke. Holy shit, is he a joke? I think the quarterback and top receiver is staying in Arizona. Was shocked. Yeah, I was kind of surprised too. Well, when I saw that, I was like, whoa, hold on. Where is Milroe going? Anyone heard? I think a couple of the other quarterbacks have entered the portal and already are going to other places, but I don't think Milroe's going anywhere. I don't believe he's entered the portal anyway. And the dude's got a lot of upside. I mean, people gave Milroe shit, but the dude's got a mega arm. He's got a huge arm and he can run. Now, sometimes he's a little wild with that mega arm, with all that power, but that the kid's got some excitement to him. I don't blame Saban for starting him at all. Has he entered the portal? I don't think so. What? Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Seriously? Uh, okay, maybe he did. Oh no, he is not in the transfer portal. It was a report by a troll account. So apparently he's not in the transfer portal. Yeah, it's based on a fake X account. Oh, that's funny. No, he did not enter the transfer portal, folks. That's funny shit. Sometimes I really love the internet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. People get upset about fake news. I think it's funny, when it's kind of like when it's a troll job. I think it's funny. I don't care. Uh, all right, but DeBoer loves to throw it. I don't know. I think DeBoer will be a good head coach for Milroe if he stays. I think that'll that'll work out. Mike Smith, Neil Brown snatch up a bunch of those Bama players leaving. Anyone wants to play with the West Virginia visor? Jeff Woodworth, I'd say the Colorado State coach. His mama taught him how to speak to adults. Reality is there is no guarantee Arizona would have won next year with Jed Fish. They were going to be good. They upward track. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I usually don't like to go with the chalk and with everybody else, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, blah, blah." But you could just see the trajectory. Trajectory. English sucks. Everyone can see the trajectory, something like that, where Arizona was going. And if they can keep a lot of their talent, especially their quarterback, and if Brennan can, if he could do it on game day, so there's some more questions now. I still think, to me, okay, I did a tier list of the scariest teams in the Big 12. I did that video. I had Arizona in my the top tier, right? The ones that I felt were on fire and were definitely going to challenge for the Big 12 title. I'll put them in the next tier down now, which is, I think 8-4 is probably the floor for Arizona. That's the way it's looking right now. 8-4 is the floor for them, but they can climb up and be a contender. So that's kind of where I would put them. I'd knock them down a tier right now with how everything's looking. Front runner 3R. Oh, it is front runner. I love the backwards 3 shit. Duke would look good in the Big 12. Elon Musk strikes again. Often does. All right. Next item up for bid, the ACC. Well, apparently they filed some crap with the court to take away Florida State's voting rights in the ACC. There's a slight problem with that, though. Florida State did not announce that they were leaving. All right, they're challenging the grant of rights. That's not the same thing. I think the ACC is kind of overreaching here by a lot. And I kind of don't blame them. The commissioner, Phillips, that's his job, is to try to protect the league and the schools within it. He knows what a threat Florida State is when leaving. So you got to he knows they're gone. He knows Florida State is leaving and there ain't shit to do except to negotiate. But you have to get to a certain place of the most power and the most leverage you can before you can start the negotiation process. So a lot of this is going to be throwing fireballs at each other. FSU throwing at ACC, ACC throwing at FSU. So you got to do all this legal maneuvering, right, to try to get yourself in this posturing, to try to get you into the best position possible when it comes to negotiation. I still maintain, and I will maintain it until it doesn't happen, that ESPN has an incredible card to play. All right, so if ESPN wants FSU in the SEC, you talk to the people at Florida State, back channels, whatnot. Hey, we're going to opt out in 2027. You can get out then for free. Stick around in the ACC until 2027. Let us get some of that cheap seminal content for the next couple of years, and then we'll move you. You'll be able to, The ACC won't have a deal. There won't be a deal on the table for them. Period. End of story. There won't be a deal. And everybody who wants to bounce after we bounce, everyone can do it for free in 2027. Just stick around for a while. I think ESPN has that card to play. We'll see if they do. But yeah, the ACC, I don't know. That's why I don't take that too seriously. I know that made big news today, but it's not shocking. It's not shocking. You know, and have they refuted? And because there's been a lot of people going online and say, "Oh, it's lies. Florida State's lying about ESPN getting out of the grant of rights." I haven't heard Commissioner Phillips or anyone else really dispute that fact, which was the biggest and most explosive fact or piece of information, I should say, that came out when Florida State announced their lawsuit. That was huge. That was a game changer, a complete game changer. And haven't heard that disputed, not by any other president or AD or anyone else associated with the ACC. No chancellor, nothing. You'll let me know if I got that wrong, but I don't think I do. I don't think that's been disputed at all, except for some jerk-offs on YouTube that wouldn't know shit anyway. It is just, it's getting funny. Oh, love the title. Hey, I'm glad. I was thinking of you, Mike. ACC put baby in the corner. Oh, they can't really. I don't know. To me, it's not. They can't really put him in the corner because y'all got to think along the lines of what the shit they're talking about. All right, one of the funniest things that came out the ACC as far as this amended lawsuit piece was that they were saying that the deal they brokered with ESPN was better than any deal that these teams could have got on their own. And I'm like, well, hold on. You only got that much money because of Florida State. They're essentially like 30-something% of the total value of the ACC. Huh? I mean, imagine if Florida State wasn't a part of the ACC. And then take Clemson out of there too. What's the value then? Oh no, the people are getting paid what they're getting paid. The only reason they're getting paid as much as they're getting paid in the ACC, which, you know, may not be the greatest, but the only reason it's that much is because of Florida State and because of Clemson. Not because of the Tar Heels. Let's get into some of that. What's the value of them in the ACC? How much are they responsible for? Not a lot. I keep hearing Florida State can go to the Big 12. You know, Clemson to the Big 12. Yet together combined, they are about half the value of the entire fucking conference. And I keep hearing, oh, UNC. Bullshit. Straight bullshit. You're telling me the number 5 overall revenue generator, athletic revenue generator in the ACC, which is UNC, is the number 1 pick for the Big 2? Are you shitting me? I'm not going to believe it until I see them put on that ACC, SEC shirt or Big 10 shirt. I don't think it's happened. The OU team KU and OSU beat was better than the OU team Arizona beat. That is a tongue twisting some shit there, front runner, but I appreciate it. Karma is coming for the ACC. They were expanding and raiding the Big East years ago. Yeah, and what's going to end up kicking them in the balls is that backfill they did with Calford with SMU. Trust me, ESPN is like, fuck you. They don't want any part of that. They don't want to pay them full shares till 2036. No. I mean, if ESPN wanted Stanford and Cal in some kind of, if they valued that, they'd be in the Big 12 right now, which is way easier on. And I don't want to hear from Stanford and Cal people. There's no way we would sully ourselves with the big bullshit. You would be grateful to get in there with 4 other teams you play every year anyway. And you don't have to go all the way to freaking Jupiter's moons to play all your away games anymore. You know, the Big 12's a hell of a lot closer. It's a hell of a lot closer than, I don't know, going to Clemson. You know, going to freaking Boston College. That's hellacious travel. And especially for Cal, who's broke as shit. It's dumb. Yeah, if ESPN wanted them, they would have got them. And they would have got them on the cheaper than they do in the ACC and the Big 12. No. Good evening. Arizona situation is looking promising. Yes, immaculate. You know, great show y'all did with the lawyer and everything. If whoever else is here watching this crap or watching it later, if you're not watching the Big 12 Mafia, you're an idiot. I don't recommend a lot of shows. I recommend the Big 12 Mafia, and I recommend Greg Flugar. Kuz's Corner. Those are my go-tos right there, those 3. But yeah, I have to upgrade Arizona from the shits to second tier. I think they got a shot. It just depends. You know, time will tell, and the season when it starts up again will tell. Arizona homer, wink, wink. Oh, Notre Dame. Yeah, maybe Immaculate's a Notre Dame homer. Who knows? Yeah, we don't know what I was going to do. And I don't know much about that history with the Big East. You know, I'm down here in Fort Worth. I don't think I gave too big a shit about the Big East. I heard a lot about them on ESPN when they were like, you know, a thing. But yeah, but since they got dealt with and they're basically just a basketball conference now, you know. Actually, I think I care more about them now than I did then, just because, you know, the Big 12 plays the Big East every year. And it's possible that in time, the Big 12 will pull some teams out of there, some basketball onlys. I think that could happen. Here we go. AAR, what's up, dude? Maryland alumni on PATC said they had some issues getting the heck out of the ACC conference. Yeah, that's a big market area that you don't want to lose as a conference. It may not be LA, but it's a big deal. That's why the Big Ten back then wanted them. Mike Smith, I think it was after Maryland that they wound up with that terrible grant of rights deal. Maybe Maryland knew something. Maybe they had someone reading this shit. Yeah, Rohan, was this Lord of the Rings Immaculate, is really good at explaining this stuff. The lawyer, yeah. Plus, his last name is Rohan. That was some of the best music in Lord of the Rings right there. Remember when Riders of Rohan showed up and Minas Tirith was under attack, with the giant, well, that's before the giant elephant showed up, but, they were under attack. They were getting their ass whooped. And that music, as, led out by that king and all. Chills every time. AR, Monty Show was all in today on how FSU Seminoles should just shut up and stand in a corner somewhere. Yeah, the Monty Shows, they've been saying this shit about FSU, and I'm like, do you not understand anything about business there, Monty Show? Do you not understand how FSU is getting their ass whooped on money, or is going to be getting their ass whooped on money by the SEC and the Big Ten? And they should just shut up. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Dipshits. Oh, just shut up. Just join the poverty squad. No, they want to make what Alabama makes. They want to make what Texas make. At least on the media rights and CFP fronts. That's what they want to make. They kind of have a point. They're a huge brand like those other huge brands. They want to be able to compete with them. So the only way to do that is to join one of those two conferences and compete with them directly and get paid from the same sources they get paid from. Dumbasses. It's like, how hard is that shit to... This is why I don't watch Monty anymore. And the next day, he'll be like, oh, the Seminoles need to do this, do that. But I don't know. On the Seminoles, he really hasn't been back and forth. At least not that I've seen. He's been more of, just shut up. They've been embarrassing. I mean, embarrassing? This is business, dumbass. I mean, the only thing embarrassing was listening to the Monty Show talking about, well, ain't none of these PAC schools going to go to the Big 12. It ain't going to happen. And then the next day, the Big 12 can get PAC schools. The day after that, none of these PAC schools going to go to the Big 12. Why would they do that? Hey, that educational dollar. Hey. All the, they like all these ties to Stanford. Next day, they're Colorado is probably going to go. Colorado ain't going to go because it's Wednesday, and I said that on Tuesday, but now it's Wednesday, and now Thursday I'll say something different. That's the shit I got tired of with the Monty Show. So I'm kind of out on them. Definitely not a Domer Homer. Jeff Woodworth, Rudy would have started at Iowa. So that was his big mistake. I don't know. Iowa's got a damn good defense, and Rudy was tiny guy, and he played defense. Don't think he would have got a starting job. AR, all the lawyers and attorneys weighed in on PATC today. Judge is a FSU Seminole alumni. To me, that is guaranteed win. Possible. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of those FSU guys. Now, of course, the ACC in North Carolina, they got a lot of North Carolina guys. The King of Rohan had the best 2 or 3 speeches. True. I don't know. Treebeard had a little one. Treebeard. Kind of sounds like he's gargling charcoal, but Immaculate, watch Monty Show talking in a month or so about how FSU is going to win. And acting like he always thought that. Yeah. That's the that's the ESPN Stephen A. Smith kind of thing he's going for there. No, thank you. Monty just wants a job with ESPN. Well, I don't think he's in the right weight class nor the right skin color for that. And which is too bad. I think actually Monty is pretty entertaining. I think he's got a good personality, but good God almighty. Just Can you be more full of shit? Can you be more full of shit? And look, sponsors are fine. Sponsors are fine. I got no issue with Monty or anyone else making money with sponsors. You're smart to do so, you know. But if I had to hear one more time about uh, what was that? What's the energy drink? The jacked up energy or bucked up, bucked up. We're gonna do a shot. I don't give a fuck if you're gonna do a shot. I don't care. I mean, that might be cute for like a week or two, but it's every day for months. For months. Oh, we're gonna do the shot. I don't care. And no, it doesn't cure cancer, and it's not going to help your golf game, dumbass. It's just another energy drink. Doesn't matter. If Monster was paying you, you would be saying the same shit. Good grief, man. It's old as shit. Monty has certain triggers, and FSU is one of them. He does. Apparently. I also want a job with ESPN. I don't know. It may not be a long-term job there, Jeff. Monty used to work for ESPN. He did. It's a local level or something. Can't remember. Immaculate. Mike Smith. I seem to be 1-2 for some reason, which is why I won't go there anymore. Thank you, AAR. I try. Yeah, that may be what he's angling for there. I don't know. But, look, I give him credit. I mean, he's got 40,000 subscribers now. That's 40 times what I got. So, I mean, that's great. I don't know. Mike Smith, I love seeing him get triggered comedy gold. Yeah, hey, I get you. Like I said, he's not like he's without talent, but Jeff Woodworth, please come back, Immaculate. It's funny when you're talking to us and Monty thinks you're talking to him. Oh, yeah. Monty loves a good tinfoil hat, Immaculate. Good show, Numbskull. Hey, thanks, Big Lubbock. Thank you for being here. Jeff Woodworth. I'll go ahead and read it anyway. You guys are hilarious. You give me so much shit, and then Monty gets mad thinking I'm just talking shit to him. Mike Smith. For the record, behind the scenes, I cleared up the story. He was also getting you and Bomber mixed up as on a person who he thought was part of the show, not just a guest a couple of times. Bomber? You mean the locked on guy? I am with Bomber multiple times a week. Let's see here. Saw the locked on guy while he was up here this summer. Drake is actually a pretty big dude. That would be surprising. He looks like a little tiny guy. So, thanks for the heads up there. Yeah, I hear you, Immaculate. But, to be fair, you kind of got an attackable face there, Immaculate. And you got that wolf thing right there. It's just, hey, you want to go? You want some of this? Jeff Woodworth, don't worry, Immaculate. He tags me all the time, usually for making dick jokes. Love stirring this shit, y'all. Don't take my opinion. I mean, I don't think Monty is entertaining. He is very entertaining. He just is all over the place with his opinions. True. AAR, he said something about going to Utah first daytime format morning show. Bruh. An attackable face. LOL, do I dare ask further about that? Hey, you talk like a smart guy. You look like a smart guy. To me, that's an attackable face. I mean, it just is. This is the age of Trump. I'm a Trump fan. Oh, you gonna pull out brain cells on me, buddy? We don't play that. I'll slap you with my GED. Right across the mouth with it. Silver fox. What am I, damn it? Like a silver possum? I ain't playing dead for nobody. Oh, crap. All right, guys. I'm about to end it here. I will take that as a compliment, but I will have to keep an eye on you at all times should I ever be lucky enough to run across you. That would be smart. You are Hodor. Come on now. Come on now, Mike. Can't remember what his real name was on there. You're a silver wolf. Well, I appreciate that. Got the teeth for it. All right, guys. Well, we'll talk again soon. Try to get back on that Sunday live stream. I'm getting through my laziness phase. You know, I came on live tonight. Damn it. Anyway, thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate you. I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.